Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at the Alleria RTA from Aug Vape. Now, what's so interesting about this RTA? Well, it's of this modern style, you know, it's got this velocity deck, it's got adjustable juice flow control, dual coil, big wide airflow should you wish to have it, but it has also got this, it's got a glass chimney. Not only has it got a glass tank, it's got a glass chimney, so you can literally see your build. You can literally see your build in there, so you can see if it's too dry, you can see if it's getting too juicy and all that stuff. I've currently got it at 65 watts, 0.4 build on the thru chai, and it's vaping a bit like this. So what we'll do is, I should point out as well, very important, it's 23mm wide, so bear that in mind if you're thinking about putting it on a 22mm tube. We'll go down low, I'll show you it up close, really briefly, just a really nice quick look at it, and we'll come back up top and I'll give you the pros and cons of this RTA from augvape.com. See you in a second. Okay guys, here we are up close with the Alleria RTA from Aug Vape. Here is the packaging. You get a spare glass chimney and you get a spare glass tank as well. Obviously one striking feature of this RTA is it has a glass chimney, so you can see right in it your wicks and coils. You get your spare screws and stuff as well. Pulling it up, that's it for the packaging really. It's got a bit of stuff on the back, but there's the website as well if you want that, but it's all good. So starting at the, while we're looking here, you can see through at this, the deck. It's a major feature here, so you can sort of see your wicks if they're wet enough, etc., if you're happy with all that. Another thing you can see if we look through here, you should be able to see I'm turning the drip tip here, and you can see that it's turning that chimney in there. This is the juice flow control, so you can close that right down, or you can loosen that right up. Now it does that by being able to have these notches on the drip tip, which correspond to the notches in there, and so you are literally cranking and turning the piece with that. So here's your airflow, nice and swooshy and big, but it can be adjusted to very small, but it's on both sides there. But with this velocity dual coil deck and everything, I'm not sure if it's in any way of interest to a mouth to lung. This is really going to give you those big lung hits. So that is that. If we close off the juice flow, I'll show you the underneath while we're at it. Number 23, if we're keeping score. If we close that juice flow off, you can see it does have top fill as well. Top fill up here. Screw that off and squirt your juice down there and fill it right up. Take this off, makes it easier to screw this back on. Screw that back on. Pop your drip tip back in again. Obviously, because it's got those notches, not super easy. Now, if we go around to the other side and we unscrew this, you will see the deck. Ta-da! Now the deck is a velocity style. As you can see, I've got a dual coil, two big coils covering up those air ducts and wicking down. Now there's these little holes here. But you basically just want to poke your cotton down those holes. This seems to be like the sort of fashionable modern style of wicking these RTAs and these deck styles at the moment. So it's pretty much along the lines of a lot of the current RTAs. So that is that. So obviously you can build your deck like that. We'll screw it back together, all nice and good, and there you go. There it is, the Alleria. We'll go back up top and we'll talk about it a bit more. Okay guys, that was the Alleria up close and personal. A very quick look, you know, I'm not going to show you how to build this. Loads of videos out there to show you that, and it's a very standard affair, you know, you just want a nice dual coil in there, build to your own specifications, and then just drop your wicks down into those little holes. Just poke them in. The more you poke in, the slower it will wick. So if you're using a 50-50, get it right down there. If you're using a high VG, maybe less. If you're vaping at high power, maybe less. I've got it set up about 65 watts on a 0.4 build. So that was the amount of wick that seems to be working well for me. But just trial and error, you know, same with all these RTAs, you need to give them a whirl. In terms of positives and negatives for this RTA, two things stand out to me. One, and I've seen in some specs that it says it takes 5-10 drip tips. It does not. It does not take your standard drip tips. It needs these latches in order to operate the juice flow control. So you are limited to this drip tip unless they produce some more with these notches on. So that is one thing to bear in mind. Not a problem for me. I'm not bothered, but it's something to bear in mind. Another thing is the looks of being able to see your build through the glass. Subjective, isn't it? That's subjective. It's a nice touch. It's not nice to be able to see what's going on in there, but at the same time, it's not the prettiest thing in the world seeing your cotton and coil in there. Maybe some people won't like that look, I guess. So those are two potential negatives. The positives vastly outweigh the negatives, in my opinion. The flavour and the vapor production on offer is immense. I just feel like it's got an incredible flavour to it for whatever reason. Maybe it's because it's a glass chimney. Maybe it's because it's nice and condensed in there, even though there is room to build nice coils. I've got 3mm coils in here, and they fit fine. I don't know if you could go much past that though. It fit okay, but I think it'd be a bit of a push at 3.5mm. The flavour and the vapour production is excellent. I really like the juice flow. I really like the airflow wide open, but you can adjust it down if you like. The price is excellent. Seen it for about $30, £25, which is a great price for this. It's really well built. It's quite good looking. 3mm of juice, something to bear in mind. You are going to go through that juice pretty quick, but that's down to the way you want to vape. So something to bear in mind though, 3mm, you will rock it through that. I promise you that if you vape like me. Flavour's excellent, vaping is excellent, really easy to build on, really well made. 23mm, so it looks nice on your box mods. I'm really enjoying using this. I think it's a really well made RTA. Do you need to throw away all your old RTAs to grab this? Maybe not. If you've got one of these modern style RTAs with the velocity deck, with this style of airflow, I wouldn't say it's going to kill those. It's not a killer of anything, but it's a really solid RTA. If you're in the market for a new RTA and you vape like this, then it's a definite contender. It's really solid, really good in my opinion. So I will leave it at that. I'm really enjoying this. It's a big thumbs up from me. I really like it. I've been vaping Vic, and I'll see you again soon.